Well, Vinyl Happy Hour. Season 5, Episode 21. Welcome everyone to Vinyl Happy Hour. I am Skylar Davis, owner of Culture Shock Clothing and Records, and of CultureShockShop.com, where you can find pretty much all of the records we're going to be discussing in this little episode. But the big thing we want to talk about are the indie store exclusives. So each week we like to bring 5 of our top picks for the week of new records that are coming out. And this week, our top 3 here of the 5 are all special color vinyl indie store exclusives you can only buy from independently owned record stores, just like Culture Shock. And then these are brand new releases as well. And then the last 2 are a couple of older releases or things that had been unreleased from some older bands. And my pick of the week is a very epic doomy album, so I can't wait to show you a little bit more about that. But let's get a little bit of this Reposado Tequila from Terramana going and jump right into this first one. Really exciting release from our old friends in the band Senses Fail. Senses Fail has been a hardcore emo band for over 20 years now, so it's really cool to see them putting out something new. And as you can see, their new album Hell Is in Your Head is this indie store exclusive from Pure Noise Records. They're calling it Beer and Butterfly, I think, color vinyl. So you can see it's like this two-tone thing. Really interesting pressing because it does have that splatter effect. Let's see. Pure Noise Records Beer and Gold Butterfly with Bone Splatter. I knew there was a lot to it, so it's a very epic amount. Really cool artwork too. It's very kind of dark with the skull and the melting candles and stuff like that. Also, I did notice it's kind of interesting on the inside of the jacket. Usually it's white. This is black on the inside. But these guys have been going for quite a few years. Always a great live show too. Very energetic. A lot of their earlier albums kind of lean more towards that screamo, emo, hardcore thing that got thrown around a lot. This album does have its heavy parts, but I love the arrangements. It's actually slowed down a little bit. Definitely has a really good, even like a pop punk emo feel to a lot of the songs. All the way up to the very ending track too, where it kind of slows it down and gives you one last chance to just kind of get the heavy out of it. Great printed inner sleeve too. So yeah, super great release. Senses Fail, Hell Is in Your Head. Definitely check that out. We have quite a few copies of this indie store exclusive version. If and when that does sell out, we should hopefully have black vinyl available too. But that's why we like to get these timely to you, so you know that every Friday the new release is coming out. Jump on the limited ones like this. So definitely pick that up. Let's talk about this one. This one's very fun. Very interesting release from the group, a new younger group called the Lindas. Hopefully you've seen them or heard about them. They did get a little bit of TV coverage. Really fun artwork. Here's all the girls on the back of the cover laying down. Just a really fun, peppy release. This is a very, almost like a Riot Girl sound. It's punky, it's garagey. It just rocks. It's just a great rock and roll album. Oddly enough, it does play at a 45 speed. I noticed that. So definitely check that if you get it. And it's playing slow or sounds weird, bump up your speed on your record player to 45 cut. So if you haven't heard this yet, though, this is Linda's Growing Up. It also comes with little cutout dolls of the band. So you can actually cut these out and put the little flexi holders on the bottom and cut them out just like little paper dolls. So that's kind of a really fun. The back of it's kind of the color of the vinyl. This is like a blue and pink clear splatter vinyl. It did start streaming a while ago. A lot of pressings have been getting delayed. A lot of pressings have also just been getting sold out right away, taking a long time to come back into stock. Finally, this record is getting released this week. So jump on that. Again, in the link below, if you check out the description below, go to the staff picks in CultureShockShop.com. All the records we're discussing here tonight have a direct link right to that. If you live locally here in Northern Illinois, you can choose in-store pickup, or we will pack and carefully get them shipped to you. But just checking out the inside of this release, you do also get the printed inner sleeve. You get the little cutout dolls. Of course, you get a nice jacket with a little sticker that tells you this is the limited edition color vinyl. Let's see, what label did put this out? I forgot. It's covered up with a barcode here on the back. I was like, I don't think it's Epitaph, but it wouldn't surprise me because they've been doing some really interesting releases too. Yeah, it is actually. So it's an Epitaph release. So nice color vinyl. This is like almost cotton candy-ish looking, you know, that swirl in there. But these girls are a lot of fun. Some of them get a little heavier, you know, somewhere between like Hole and Slater-Kinney. A lot of it has that more of the older 90s, 2000s feel to me. of that original Riot Girl sound, but they're fun. They're a little peppier and got a modern sound mixed in with it. I would definitely check that out. Obviously, our girl Lizzo, we've been hearing a lot about her. Her album also, I think, has been kind of on the leak and supposed to be coming out for a while. Lizzo's Special on the Atlantic label. This is a pretty large artist to have something come out as an indie store exclusive. So it's cool to see that smaller artists and bigger artists are doing these special indie store exclusives. This is grape-colored vinyl, so this is an indie store exclusive of her new album. Love the picture of her on the inside, too, on this inner sleeve. It has a real throwback feel to almost like that, you know, just glamorous Diana Ross era or something like that. Just really big showstopper hair. She's always got something going on between her dancing and everything else in all her videos. But anyway, on this album, it's cool. I mean, obviously Lizzo can rap too, so she does a little bit of that, but there is really more of a soul step happening here, kind of slowing it down, giving us more of that kind of funk and soul. As you've heard a lot of other artists do this, I mean, geez, anything from like even Mac Miller to Childish Gambino, I mean, geez, even Snoop Dogg or whatever. So there's a little mix of that hip hop, a little mix of the R&B, funk, and soul. This is a good summer jam though. This is just a fun album, just really easy to listen to and fun. You know, she's got some very tongue-in-cheek lyrics and stuff like that she likes to play around with. But the production is tight. I mean, hearing this on vinyl and just hearing all the bass hit so sharp, it's a nice release. So definitely check out that. I like on the little sticker too, it says new album from Lizzo, exclusive grape-colored vinyl. In case nobody told you today, you're special. You're special. Now we're going to talk about some older stuff too. I hope there's some Bright Eyes fans out there, because this is the Bright Eyes, let's see, this is a collection of songs written and recorded between 1995 and 1997. There isn't anything horribly special about the jacket. It's a double LP gatefold, nice thick jacket, interesting artwork. All of the lyrics and everything is written out on the inside of the gatefold. So there's no inner sleeves or any inner artwork to show that off, just nice thick wax, nice thick, probably 180 gram vinyl. But these are songs, this is from an era of Bright Eyes and from Conor Oberst that are just epic. Legendary, those mid-90s stuff, very essential to a lot of the emo and folk and other things like that in indie rock movement. And there's some songs on here that are kind of rough, kind of raw, and I really like it. It's almost, you know, it's just so raw. It's almost like, you know, I could almost say it's almost like the Omaha, Nebraska emo versions of like the Velvet Underground movement or something like that. I mean, it's just kind of a good folk writer, a good indie rock song maker. That era of music and that era of Bright Eyes is so interesting to me. It's cool to hear even these unreleased demos and you know, kind of early versions of songs and stuff like that. So it's a double LP. There are a lot of songs here. Definitely worth checking out. It's just called Bright Eyes, a collection of songs written between 95 and 97. Double LP, nice thick vinyl. It does sound very good. Even though I said some of these sound kind of raw or anything, it's not like they sound totally unfinished or anything. It's just kind of this interesting stripped back songs that Conor Oberst had written in that era. So definitely check that out, especially if you're a Bright Eyes fan. I'm really interested in it because I'm a fan of Bright Eyes from that era, and they did no wrong for quite a few years there. So even now, even the music they're still putting out is pretty good. So, all right, let's talk about Candlemass. Epicus, Doomicus. Wow. This is like a specialty box set. This album came out, I think, about 35 years ago, probably around 85. So this is the remastered version of it. So you get this nice, thick box set to hold it. This is Candlemass limited edition triple LP color vinyl of Epicus, Doomicus, Metallicus. This is a Swedish group. This is on color vinyl. This is some early Candlemass. This is one of the most epic Doom albums ever made. So we will show off, there's 3 records inside, a poster and a lithograph. So this is November 95 rehearsal session. You can see all the guys there. This one is on black vinyl from 85. That is the 3rd LP. The 2nd LP is live stuff on white vinyl. This is from January 85. These are some demos, actually, from the group. So these sound cool. They're very thrashy, very kind of almost more of like a black metal sound in a way, because this is a Doom band. Well, you can see the guys there, and great artwork. I love the jacket on this one. But what we're really here for is the actual album, the Epicus, Doomicus, Metallicus, one of the most epic Doom albums ever made. Very slow down, very metal, but in a very thrash way. We're getting to the point where there's probably a lot of people who haven't listened to Candlemass, and this is the remastered version of their epic album, Epicus, Doomicus, I can't say that enough. And it's remastered, really sharp sounding, very crunchy, slow, heavy Doom. So definitely check this box set out if it comes back into print or is available and you want to get the most epic version of it. It does come with a booklet, some pictures and lyrics of that. Just a great little history of the band too, which made albums for quite a few years. I mean, obviously we think about Electric Wizard and Sleep and all these other bands that came after the Black Sabbath era. Obviously a lot of these bands just have that sound and pay homage to Black Sabbath, who are kind of like known as the grandfathers of doom metal and that slower heavy metal. But this is such a cool album, and this is a cool release to see some of the unreleased material and the demos of their early album. It's got a poster for the album. Yeah, just Swedish band. There's actually a little insert too. I forgot to show that off, didn't I? Yeah. So there's just a little lithograph of a handwritten letter from the writer of the band, who I do know his name, Leif Edling or Edling. Not sure how to say it, but it's just his little message saying how great this album is and how much it means to him, that his words and things like that have gone on to become so legendary and things like that with his autograph. But yeah, if you haven't heard this album, I mean, it's strange in a way because the lyrics are slow and low, and it sounds, it's not like heavy metal where they're screaming at you, but it has that heavy feeling of metal. And they're dealing with lots of things about souls and witchcraft and stars and things like that. So the lyrics and everything like that are very, what you would think of some really epic metal. But it's like thrash metal slowed down. Those parts that just slow down get really heavy and crunchy, and there's like a breakdown almost, and the drums and the bass are just thumping along. It's just a heavy, brutal, slow album, and influential to a lot of things. This is kind of the rebirth of Doom stuff that kind of the 80s and 90s trickled through with between thrash and Doom and other things like that. But really cool. I like how the 3 albums inside come in their own jackets, so they're easy to take out of this box set and use on their own. You don't have to keep them in here, but this one, we sold out of people who had pre-ordered them already. I'm not sure if they're going to be making more, but if you try to order this, it will say unavailable. So I do want to warn you, those first 4 albums we talked about are still available, plus tons of other releases that just came out this week. But the way the vinyl world is happening right now, it does make sense to pre-order some things that might be limited or you think will sell out, and we will do our best to get everything to you. But that's just kind of the way it is right now. A lot of pressings are backed up, and there's so much old stuff and new stuff to get pressed. So follow our social media also. Besides the few records we kind of highlight here on Vinyl Happy Hour every week on YouTube, our Facebook and Instagram for Culture Shock have more of an update of all the stuff coming in. Obviously, the website, too, has a huge section between our staff picks and an area where you can pre-order upcoming release. So, yeah, just head over to cultureshockshop.com and check out those. And we appreciate you watching this video and enjoying a drink with us and going through some of the records for the week. We'll see you next week. Cheers!